Okay, peeps. This is one. Court case 3. Uh, if you're just joining, please go back to the first video. Read it. I understand it's 25, 30 minutes long, but it gives you a good gist of what's going on. And then I got number 2, and I kind of got sidetracked, but still talking about law and your rights, my rights, we the people. Now, I talked about a few things. Constitutional rights. Talked about Article 6, Paragraph 2, Bill of Rights, Amendment 4. I talked about Amendment 9. Talked about the 10th Amendment. Talked about Amendment 5. Now I'm going to break all this down for you because it all actually goes backwards. To be able to protect your rights, my rights, we the people. Hope you ain't offended, and I hope you don't leave because I smoke. Everybody's rights is theirs, whether smoke or not. They're yours. They're ours. We the people. Okay, now this is constitutional law, folks, okay? AM Jurisprudence, Volume 16. Constitutional Law, Section 97. A constitution should receive a liberal interpretation in favor of the citizen. Us. We the people. Is especially true with respect to those provisions which were designed to safeguard the liberty and security of the citizen in regards to both persons and property. Has it soaked in yet? Did you hear what I just said? Well, let me reread that for you so you really have a gist of what this means for you. AM Jurisprudence, Volume 16, Constitutional Law, Section 97. So we got that straight, right? Constitutional, you can't touch it, set in stone, simple as that. A constitution should receive a liberal interpretation in favor of the citizen, which would be you, me, we the people. Not this side, but this side. It is especially true with respect to those provisions which were designed to safeguard the liberty and security of the citizen in regards to both persons and property. Okay, folks? I have this Constitution. Now, this is what you would be saying. It's what you have to be saying. I have this Constitution. This Constitution is a contract in writing, enforceable in the court of law pursuant to the statute of frauds. I am asking for special performance, Your Honor, in favor of me. I am the designated beneficiary of the contract. I am the injured party. You, we the people, are the beneficiary of that contract. So when somebody makes a claim and it's unlawful, then there's an injured party. That would be you. Means you can sue. You can't just do something and think you can get away with it. You can be held accountable, and that means sued. Your bank account, your house, your professional capacity plus your persons outside your job. Because you acted outside your professional capacity with an armed gun, extorting me for revenue, violating my rights. The 1st, the 5th, the 14th. We can go on. '16th, 2nd AM, Jurisprudence, Section 155. Since the Constitution is intended for the observance. Oh, I'm going to get this one wrong, folks. This was a hard one for me. Even though some people say, well, that ain't a hard word. Some words for me is just tongue twisters. Observance of the judiciary as well as other departments of government. So let me reread that again because I kind of trailed off. 16th, 2nd AM, Jurisprudence, Section 155. since the Constitution intended for the observance of the judiciary as well as other departments of government, and the judges are sworn to its provision guide. The Constitution is the guide, is the law. The courts are not at liberty to overlook or disregard in command or continuance evasion thereof. It is their duty in authorized proceeding to give full effect to existing constitution, and I obey all constitution provision irrespective of their opinion as to the wisdom or the desirable of such provisions, and irrespective of the consequences. Thus, it is said that the court should be in our alert to enforce the provisions of the United States Constitution and guard against their infringement by the legislative, fiat, or otherwise, in accordance with the basic principle and the rules it fixed, that the duty is the proper case to declare a law unconstitutional cannot be declined and must be performed in accordance with the deliberate judgment of the tribunal before which the validity of the enactment is directly drawn into question. If the Constitution prescribes one rule in the state, another in a different rule, it is the duty of the court to declare that the Constitution and not the statute governs in cases before them for judgment. Judge has to rule in favor of the Constitution. So please go back and read that. Go back and re-listen to that a couple different times. That's very important. You know, that's a long thing to read again, but that's very important. It's pretty much as they can't breach their contract, folks. They swore an oath to uphold the Constitution, foreign and domestic. That includes the Bill of Rights. They can't tread. They can't impede. It's set in stone. That is yours. That is yours for the taking. You just got to take it. You got to speak up. You got to get it out. And then you would pretty much say, I am an American and I have a constitutional right and rights, and that right shall not be infringed. This is what you got to tell these people. And you're infringing, and I'm asking you not to do that because it's not nice, and it's not. And asking the judge to do his duty under a sworn oath of office and uphold the United States Constitution. You have a right to demand a declaratory judgment, and they got to declare it. If it's a constitutional issue and you raise it, they got to deal with it. They got to answer it. It is constitutional or not. They have to answer. Okay? It has to be judged in favor of the citizen because I am the beneficiary. I don't understand what you guys, or nobody doesn't understand about that. The judgment has to be in favor of us because we're the beneficiary. We're the owner of that contract. Not these people on this side. We own that contract. United States versus Bishop, 412 United States Report, PD, or page 346. Very important case. Please go read it. It's a lot to explain, but please go read it. Very important case. Sets a standard for what constitutes a criminal violation in terms of willfulness intent. Okay, that's what that case is all about. Willful intent. 95% of the case is willfulness. They can't prove willfulness, they have no case, they have no claim. They have to prove that you willfully knew, that you willfully broke the law. But when the law is already set in place, you can't set no law in place that arbitrates or gets rid of any law. So my law was already there. So there's no willfulness. I didn't willfully break anything, any law, any statute. I relied on the United States Constitution, the Bill of Rights, and the United States Supreme Court ruling. And as long as I did that, I had a perfect defense for willfulness. It's a burden of the state. Not that the state attorney not that the state attorney does not say it was supposed to be now. I screwed it up, but now that the state's attorney does not have a cause of action for which relief can be granted, Your Honor, may I please the court? Counsel was specifically precluded from performing his major task. Therefore, Your Honor, may I please the court at this time, I would motionless graciously for a dismissal with prejudice for failure to state a cause of action for which relief may be granted by this honorable court, and I would like to collect my costs and fees for having to defend this patently frivolous and spurious complaint. Might please the court. Now, some of it I'm still learning, folks. I'm still trying to understand it myself. But I understand enough to know that's your constitutional right to travel on a public road. And if I can give any positive and the best advice for an American citizen, get the book. Get the book, babes. Get the book. United States Constitution of America and the Bill of Rights. Sit down and read it. It's not a difficult read. Try to understand it. Those are your rights. They can't be taken. No matter what the state laws got put in place. Whatever it says in that book is what the state and judge has to do. Period. I've come to learn that. But me, I got this. Woo! I love to speak. But I want to make sure that I'm speaking about things I know. Cases that I've read. I don't want to start saying cases and I don't know what they mean. Because you might catch me. Well, what's that mean? And then I have to look like a dummy and say, oh, Your Honor, we're not here for an education course. I want to be able to tell him, well, da-da-da versus Bishop means willfulness, Your Honor. The state has ruled that you got to prove willfulness beyond a reasonable doubt. The state can't prove willfulness. The right was already there before the law was put in place. So there's no willfulness in breaking any statute. See how it's broken down? But you gotta learn how to talk it, folks. Okay, folks, peace. Y'all be good. I'm tired. It's been a long day. Remember to get pulled over. Turn your phone on. Am I being detained? Am I free to go? He says you're being detained. You're in a custodial arrest. If you're in a custodial arrest, you shut the fuck up. You don't give them nothing. The way that they're obligated to get anything is if you commit a crime. Traffic violation, movement violation is not a crime. No matter how much they threaten and intimidate you, it's not a crime. Not here in the state of Vermont. State of Vermont. Just follow the laws. Follow the Constitution. You'll be all right. You can travel on a public highway doing your personal agenda. The court has ruled. The United States Supreme Court has ruled. They'll try to say, hey, don't start by. You need to go back and read the Constitution. They'll try to belittle your thinking, your knowledge. Don't let them. Don't let them force them to break that window. Force them to kidnap you. Because the fact of the matter is you trespass on this person, I have no ill intent towards you. or against you. I'm not a violent man, but the law is going to allow me to hold you accountable. And when you do break in my property unlawfully, and I know it's going to be unlawful because I don't commit crime, I have every right, just like the police officers, to defend myself, especially when I fear for my life. Because when you're breaking into my property, especially without a search warrant, with an armed gun, you're acting outside your professional capacity and your legal capacity. Therefore, I don't know what your state of mind is. Well, this is a good one, folks. A quick tip. When you get pulled over, first thing you want to establish after you turn your phone on is ask them, well, may I help you, sir? They'll say, can I see your license, registration, insurance? Well, yes, sir. Yeah, not a problem. Did I commit a crime? Of course, he can't tell you commit a crime. He says, I just need to see your license. Well, and then you, well, sir, did I commit a crime? And of course, he's going to say no. You insist. Before you give him anything, you insist. You make sure he tells you didn't commit a crime. Because the ball game changes if you committed a crime. So if he says you didn't commit a crime, you turn around and say, well, Your Honor, if I didn't commit a crime, then I'd rather not get off my documentations. It could be used in court of law. I know I kind of speak kind of quick, but if I care not get off no documentation, that could be used against me in a court of law. You have the right under the Fourth Amendment to be secure in your property and effects, papers. It's yours. It's your right. They can't take it. No matter what they say. It's yours. Well, you agreed under DMV, and DMV says this, and DMV says they try to pass the buck. DMV says that. Unless you commit a crime, you are not obligated under the law to produce any documentation, especially ones that are going to be used against you in a court of law. And you already know they're going to. And then you shut the fuck up and say, I got nothing else to say until I see an attorney. You shut the fuck right up. Me, now I have a little problem running my mouth. Because I know what I'm talking about. I can spit it out. A good portion. Still learning. Yeah, still learning. But it's very interesting. Don't let them violate your constitutional rights. We the people. You can make a difference. Yes, you. You can make a difference. It's not about being a constitutionalist. It's not about, oh, well, you're not cooperating. It's not about all that. It's about taking what is rightfully yours. No matter what anybody says, that Constitution is rightfully yours. Born and raised on American soil, that Constitution is rightfully of America, and Bill of Sales is rightfully yours. Period. Don't let them take it. The only way they can take it if you allow them to take it. It's as simple as that. If you allow them to take it, then you deserve to have your token. I don't want my token, so I speak up. I'm a man that's hands-on. I don't preach this shit just for the shit of preaching, try to be somebody, folks. I went to court, and I got 4 tickets, total of $980, dismissed because of my motion dismissed for lack of jurisdiction over this person. Over this person. I want them to establish how they got jurisdiction over this person and be able to extort me from revenue and pull me over if I'm not acting in interstate commerce. If I ain't acting in interstate commerce and I am abiding by the United States Constitution rulings and the Bill of Rights, then I have a perfect defense for willfulness. I am immune to prosecution. See how that works? You gotta break it down and always go backwards. You go forward, and then if you start breaking it down backwards, It makes a lot more sense. At least that's how my brain works. You know. But I'm pretty tired, folks. I just wanted to get that out there. I wanted y'all to know you have rights. You have rights. Force them to give them to you. And you shouldn't have to force them to give them to you. You probably didn't have to. You probably on. You know what? I'm not even thinking straight. I'm falling asleep. I'm half in, half out. Okay, peace. Be good.